You know, it's got to be really hard to be a woman in America. Not only are women 51% of the human global population, but now you've got a Congress, whether they're Democrats or Republicans, mostly they happen to be GOP, now fully assaulting women. Why? Well, in this country, like many other countries, many countries in the Middle East, we have a patriarchy. That means men rule. That means women serve at the pleasure of a man. They enjoy their range of motion, limited range of motion, at the pleasure of a man. And this is what these bastards, these people in government, are now telling women. Planned Parenthood, an organization which my mother, by the way, volunteered and served in along with the Junior League. This is not necessarily some bottom-feeding organization. It's considered quite a good thing because women do have ovaries, they have mechanics, they have a lot of things that can go wrong. And as we know in anybody's medical system, particularly here, it's expensive. And so to remove that, in other words, create unequal access for women, but greater access to medicine for men, that's bullshit. And such bullshit that it supports the patriarchy. When the patriarchy is threatened, when in this country white male Christians are threatened, what do? They lash out, and they lash out against a group that they think they can conquer. Conquering women is easy. Half the women are already married to these bastards, and they're going to end up having to say yes, possibly under the law, under some degree. Well, here's what I propose. This is the solution. This is the way to do it. If a man feels entitled to subjugate a woman, to take away her rights to self-determination, to handling her own physical body, if he needs to be the supreme ruler, the Lord of all, let him do so. So if any DNA-related semen is found inside of her that triggers a philoprogenitive child, let's call it, if we find out that it's your sperm, you're the one I'm talking to, Mr. Republican, Mr. Senator, Mr. Congressman, if we find out that it's your sperm that impregnated her and she no longer has access to the services she needs, you now get to pay for everything. Not only will you pay for this child to be born, you will pay for this child's education. You will pay for this child's clothing. You will pay for this child's medicine. When I say education, I'm talking 80 grand for a good college too. Plus everything else that child may need, including full-time live-in nanny service, because this woman will now have to go get a job to support herself. In fact, I think under that umbrella, you should now pay for her too. Why? Because for the next 21 years, she is going to have to be parenting the child that you would not let her, under her own determination, deal with. So now she is limited at the kind of work she can get. She's also removed from the marketplace for, well, let's say 2 decades, maybe greater, and loses that edge, loses that skill level. In fact, she gets older. And by the time she's ready then to go into corporate America after 21 years of dealing with your child, well, maybe she's not going to be first pick. Maybe she's going to be no pick at all, and she's screwed. So you should pay for her until she's dead, because you have now robbed her of 2 decades of life. That's human theft, and you have forced something that you refuse to take care of. So if you love it so much, you pay for it. And we've got millions of women in America that are going to be subject to your new decisions, and you get to pay for it. Not me, by the way, because I am not going to be out there indiscriminately squirting seed and then forcing life forms on here to fend for themselves. It's just an act of wanton cruelty, as you sit back and sneer at the refugees as if they're throwaways too. Well, let me tell you something. There are hundreds of millions of people wide awake right now, and they know exactly what you're doing. Those are my thoughts for the day. Like it or not, I'll see you again.